Imagine waking up to the news that the financial gamble you took years ago, the one friends and family may be called a fool's errand, has just become a stunning reality. Picture this: you walk into a major, mainstream American bank, a Chase, a Bank of America, a Wells Fargo, and instead of the familiar stacks of dollars and euros, right there next to the teller's window is a listed, official buy rate for the Iraqi Dinar and the Vietnamese Dong. This is not a drill, and this is not a speculative rumor from a shady online forum. This is the breaking financial event of 2025, a tectonic shift in the global monetary landscape that is happening right now, as we speak, and if you are holding these currencies, your life is about to change in ways you previously only dreamed of. For over a decade, the journey of the dinar and dong investor has been one of patience, research, and weathering a storm of skepticism. The narrative was always that these were exotic, unredeemable currencies, assets you could buy but never truly cash in for their promised revaluation profits through a conventional, trusted financial institution. You were told the only way to ever exchange them was through obscure, private dealers, often with high fees and questionable security, a process that felt more like a back-alley transaction than a legitimate financial milestone. That era, as of right now, is officially over. The gates have been opened. The top-tier U.S. banking institutions have begun to formally and publicly facilitate exchanges for both the Iraqi dinar and the Vietnamese dong, moving them from the shadows of speculative investment into the bright light of recognized, tradable currency. This shift did not happen in a vacuum. It is the direct result of painstaking international negotiations, the meeting of stringent economic benchmarks set by the International Monetary Fund, and the culmination of what insiders are calling the global currency reset, a realignment of world currencies to better reflect the true economic standing of nations in the 21st century. The implications of this are staggering, effectively validating the long-held belief that these currencies were fundamentally undervalued and poised for a significant correction. But with this earth-shattering news comes an urgent need for clarity and precision. The process is not as simple as walking in with a briefcase of dong and walking out with $1 million. The banks have established a strict, documented procedure to ensure compliance with both domestic and international financial regulations. The first and most critical step is verification. Before you even think about heading to a bank, you must have your currency notes authenticated. This means ensuring they are not counterfeit, are from the correct series, and are in acceptable condition. The participating banks have installed specialized currency verification scanners, operated by trained tellers, to do exactly this. They will check for the specific security features, the raised printing, the watermarks, the security threads, the color-shifting ink. Attempting to exchange a note that fails this authentication will not only result in a rejected transaction but could also flag your account for further scrutiny. This is the new reality. A system built on legitimacy and transparency from the ground up. The second step involves understanding the exchange rate being applied. The rate you see online on generic financial websites may not be the precise rate the bank is using. These banks are working with a live, interbank rate that includes a small spread, a difference between the buy and sell price, which is how they facilitate the service. It is absolutely essential that you call ahead or check the bank's official online portal for their current posted rates for IQD to USD and VND to USD before you go in. This knowledge is your power. It prevents confusion at the teller window and ensures you are receiving the full, fair value you are entitled to based on the official revaluation. This is not the time for guesswork. This is the time for meticulous, informed action. The window of opportunity is now wide open, but it demands that you are prepared, that you have your documents in order, and that you understand this is a historic, yet formal, banking procedure. So, which institutions are leading this financial revolution? While a full, public list is being updated daily, confirmed participants as of this recording include several of the largest money center banks with extensive international operations, such as Citibank, JP Chase, and select Wells Fargo flagship locations, particularly in major international hubs like New York City, Los Angeles, and Houston. Furthermore, major institutional banks like Bank of America are in the final stages of rolling out their exchange desks nationwide. The key differentiator here is that these are not the bank's standard foreign currency exchange services. which have long handled euros, pounds, and yen. This is a separate, newly established procedure specifically for the pre-revaluation and post-revaluation exchange of the dinar and dong, treated with a higher level of scrutiny and specialized handling due to the significant amounts involved. This distinction is crucial. You must specifically ask to speak with a branch manager or a senior financial consultant and state that your inquiry is regarding the Iraqi Dinar Revaluation or Vietnamese Dong Revaluation exchange protocol. Using this specific language immediately signals to the bank staff that you are an informed individual and directs you to the correct personnel who have been trained for this exact scenario. This is your insider tip for navigating the system smoothly. Once you are with the correct representative, the process will involve a detailed financial review. Be prepared for this. The banks are operating under strict anti-money laundering and know your customer regulations, more stringent than ever before. This means you will need to provide full, valid identification, proof of the source of your currency investment, which could include old purchase receipts from registered dealers, bank statements showing the wire transfers, or a notarized affidavit of origin, and you will likely need to complete a detailed form explaining the nature of the transaction. Do not be alarmed by this. It is a standard protective measure for both you and the bank. It is designed to legitimize the entire process and protect the global financial system from illicit activity. Your transparency and willingness to provide these documents will make the process swift and seamless. Now, let's talk about the strategic approach. Insiders who were briefed ahead of this public rollout strongly advise against exchanging your entire holding in one single transaction at one branch, especially if you possess a very substantial amount. The reasoning is twofold. First, it manages your own financial exposure and allows you to dollar-cost average into your new wealth. And second, it prevents potential liquidity or logistical delays at a single bank branch. A more sophisticated strategy is to schedule appointments at different branches of the same bank, or even across different participating banking institutions. This phased approach gives you control, allows you to become comfortable with the process, and ensures you are not overwhelming a single location's daily cash handling capacity for these specific currencies. Furthermore, this is the moment to be hyper-vigilant about security. The public announcement of this exchange capability has, unsurprisingly, attracted a fresh wave of scammers and fraudulent actors looking to prey on both excited and uninformed investors. You must remember this cardinal rule. You initiate the contact with the bank using a verified phone number from their official website. Do not respond to emails, text messages, or social media DMs claiming to be from a bank and asking for your personal details or offering to expedite your exchange. No legitimate bank will ever ask for your online banking password or a verification code sent to your phone to process this transaction. Any pressure tactics, any requests for upfront fees, any suggestion to meet outside of official bank branch is a massive red flag for a scam. Your journey to financial freedom is now at the final, legitimate stage. Do not let your guard down and be tricked into losing everything to a criminal at the very finish line. The banks are the safe, regulated, and official channel. Everything else is noise and danger. As we step back and look at the monumental significance of what is unfolding, it's clear that this is more than just a currency exchange. It is the tangible manifestation of the long-theorized global currency reset in action. For years, the GCR was a topic discussed in hushed tones on alternative finance platforms, a concept that seemed almost too profound to be real. Yet, the participation of pillar U.S. banking institutions is the ultimate validation that this is a managed, orchestrated event on a global scale. Economic experts close to the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank are now speaking openly about the necessity of this reset, explaining that the post-Bretton Woods financial system, built entirely on the US dollar as the primary reserve currency, had become unsustainable, creating massive global trade imbalances and sovereign debt crises. The revaluation of currencies like the Iraqi Dinar and Vietnamese Dong is a critical component of rebalancing this system, acknowledging the vast intrinsic wealth and economic potential of these nations, Iraq with its unparalleled oil reserves and Vietnam with its explosive growth as a global manufacturing hub, that were not reflected in their artificially suppressed currency values. This official bank exchange process is the mechanism to correct that discrepancy, to bring these currencies into their proper alignment, and to allow the citizens of these countries, as well as the foresight investors who believed in their potential, to participate fully in the new global economic paradigm. This is the why behind the what, the profound economic truth that makes this current event not a random occurrence, but an inevitable, historical correction. Your foresight in acquiring these currencies has positioned you at the forefront of this change. Now, the focus shifts from acquisition to stewardship. The life-changing wealth that is about to enter your possession comes with immense responsibility. This is not merely a ticket to a life of luxury, it is a tool for building a lasting legacy. The first and most critical piece of advice from every financial planner and wealth manager who is aware of this situation is to immediately assemble a team of trusted, independent professionals, a fee-based financial advisor, a tax attorney specializing in windfall income, and a reputable CPA. Do not, under any circumstances, make any significant financial decisions or large purchases for at least the first 90 days. The psychological impact of a sudden wealth event is profound and can lead to impulsive choices. Your first step after the exchange should be to place the vast majority of the funds into a secure, FDIC-insured account at a different bank than the one you used for the exchange, creating a temporary financial firewall while you and your team develop a comprehensive plan. This plan should account for tax obligations, which will be substantial, and structure your wealth across a diversified portfolio designed for long-term growth and generational security. Think about estate planning, charitable giving, and investments that align with your core values. This wealth is a resource to create not just a better life for yourself, but a positive impact on your family and your community for generations to come. The journey that began with a belief in a different financial future is now culminating in a reality that few ever experience. You have navigated the years of uncertainty, you have weathered the doubt, and you now stand at the threshold of a new beginning. The banks are ready, the process is defined, and your future is waiting. The final, most important step is yours to take, with wisdom, with caution, and with the excitement of building something truly extraordinary from this historic opportunity. You have the information, you understand the process, and you know the significance of this moment in your life and in global finance.